Krasnoye Selo Ropsha Offensive. The Krasnoye Selo Ropsha Offensive, also known as Operation January Thunder and Neva II, was a campaign between the Soviet Leningrad Front and the German 18th Army fought for the western approaches of Leningrad in 1430 January 1944. The Second Shock Army was moved from Leningrad and Lizhenos to the Oranienbaum bridgehead during a number of nights starting from November 1943. At daytime, the barges returned, disguised as committing an evacuation of the bridgehead. In charge of the bridgehead, Lieutenant General Bz Romanovsky was replaced with Lieutenant General Ivan Fedyuninsky. As a part of the Leningrad-Novgorod strategic offensive, due to commence on January 14, 1944, the Soviet Volkhov and Leningrad fronts designed the Krasnoye Selo Ropsha offensive aimed at forcing the German General Feldmarschall George von Kuckeler's Army Group North back from its positions near Oranienbaum. In the process, the attack was expected to encircle General Oberst George Lindemann's 18th Army. The situation of the German Army Group North at the end of 1943 had deteriorated to a critical point. The Blue Division and 3 German divisions had been withdrawn by October, while the Army Group had acquired 60 miles of additional frontage from Army Group Center during the same period. As replacements, Field Marshal George von Kuckeler received the Blue Legion and 3 divisions of SS troops. In such a weakened state, the Army Group staff planned a new position to its rear that would shorten the front lines by 25% and remove the Soviet threats posed in many salients on the current lines. The plan, Operation Blue, called for a January withdrawal of over 150 miles to the natural defensive barrier formed by the Narva and Velikayu rivers and lakes Pipus and Pskov. This position, the so-called Panther Line, was buttressed by fortifications that had been constructed since September. The retreat would be carried out in stages, using intermediate defensive positions, the most important of which was the Rolban Line formed on the October Railway running through Tosno, Lyuban, and Chudavo. There the 2 most exposed Army Corps, the XXVI and XXVIII, would regroup before proceeding farther back to their positions in the Panther Line. The fate of Army Group North turned for the worse in the new year, for Hitler rejected all proposals for an early withdrawal into the Panther position, insisting that the Soviet forces be kept as far as possible from Germany and that they be forced to pay dearly for each meter of ground. Finally, Hitler transferred 3 more first-rate infantry divisions out of Army Group North to reinforce Erich von Manstein's Army Group South as it reeled back from the Dnieper River under continuous Soviet assault. Field Marshal von Kuckeler now held an extremely precarious position, and could only await events on the Leningrad and Volkhov fronts with great pessimism. Fedyuninsky's Second Shock Army and General Ivan Maslenikov's 42nd Army fell on the sector of Obergruppenführer Felix Steiner's 3 SS Panzer Corps, hitting the area of the 9th and 10th Luftwaffe field divisions. By the 3rd day of the offensive, the Second Shock Army broke through the German lines with a penetration 23 kilometers wide. The Luftwaffe units crumbled quickly, and Army Group North fell back to new positions along the Narva River in Estonia. In a key Soviet assault on January 19, the 63rd Guards Rifle Division seized German positions to the front of Krasnoye Selo. On January 19, the Second Shock Army took Ropa and the 42nd Army liberated Krasnoye Selo. By January 30, the Soviet attacks by the Second Shock and 42nd Armies cost the German forces around 21,000 casualties, captured 85 artillery pieces ranging in caliber from 15 cm to 40 cm, and pushed them back by between 60 and 100 kilometers. The Krasnoye Selo Ropsha offensive was part of the operations of the Volkhov and Leningrad fronts that broke the siege of Leningrad, concluding an almost 900-day battle. Launching the King Isep Dov offensive on February 1, the Second Shock Army's 109th Rifle Corps captured the town of King Isep.